Sorry for the temporary hiatus. We were officially going to every other week, and then last week I fell asleep on the couch by 7:30 because apparently I am old. Uh, but it was also Goon's birthday, so we missed Tank's birthday and Goon's birthdays here on the show. So we'll tell them both fuck off, later. Uh, and so Goon went up to
You just did.
to Blackhawk to lose some birthday money. So that happened. All right. While we were gone, a lot of other shit happened as well. San Diego Comic-Con had a shit ton of announcements, which was really exciting. Smurf went to C2E2, so the Chicago convention. Definitely check out 5280 Geek to see how he did there and look for some of the pictures on our page. He is currently stuck in a meeting for the Colorado Festival of Horrors, but we'll try to join if at all possible as we go on. So we have a lot of shit to cover, and we're just going to jump right in. So first off, Warner Brothers is canceling a fuck ton of movies.
Everything.
But what's really interesting is they're canceling movies that are in final production leaking phases.
Yeah, they canceled Batgirl, which is done.
Yeah, Batgirl's already in the can, and it will just sit on a shelf.
Which is insane, because who wasn't wanting to watch that movie? Finally, something in the Bat universe that isn't Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The Scooby-Doo cross-holiday haunt sing-along Disney, or not Disney, but Warner Brothers thing, that was also done and paid for. So they're still actually working actively on it. They were posting pictures of them still recording the soundtrack for it.
Yeah, it's crazy. They took the axe to their entire portfolio that's supposed to be coming out over the next couple of years.
Yeah, so they're saying it's because they was on films that are not going to the streaming service, and both of those were set to hit HBO Max as well as theaters. But that's just money down the drain. They're done.
Between those two projects, I think it's something like $140 or $130 million between both projects that they've already spent.
Well, yeah, because they were both.
It's $40 million for Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and almost $100 for Batgirl because it was done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that doesn't make sense. I can understand not moving forward with streaming service stuff because apparently they're losing their ass on HBO Max somehow, which doesn't really make much sense considering there's a lot of stuff on there and it seems to be one of the more popular services at the moment.
That's our go-to currently.
But also with HBO Max, if you have HBO in your cable package or dish package or whatever, you get HBO Max. So people aren't paying double for it. They're not paying the extra. They don't have like Disney does with the the Disney extra special Super Plus movies you have to pay $30 for.
Yeah, they're premium.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, the premium release thing. Which even if they did that would make sense. What doesn't make sense is you have these two projects specifically, the ones we were talking about with Batgirl and the new Scooby-Doo thing. They're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're already paid for.
Why would you cancel them at this point? The only thing that's left was marketing, which if you don't want to pay for marketing, fine. Just put it on your streaming service. You're going to get people to watch it.
I mean, and in fairness, by canceling it, they're basically getting free marketing for both of those films.
And all you're doing is literally losing money. There's no gain here at all. I don't know.
The whole thing is pretty bizarre.
I got a weird feeling with how sideways this is all going. They're gonna have to give up DC Comics. I'm assuming, right? They have the rights to it.
I
So
wonder,
Warner Brothers
I wonder
Media,
who will acquire them.
just because
I mean, if they're spending that much money and not producing anything, then somebody else is going to have the rights to it, right?
well, yeah, they have it. They still own the rights to it. But if you're not doing anything with it, if you're canceling all the stuff that you're making with that property and still paying for it, then you're doing something wrong.
Right. That's not how business works.
Yeah, that's how you fail as a company, to have a service and not choose to provide it.
Right.
But
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. So we think that they're going to lose the DC universe, which I would kind of be okay with. I haven't really loved what they've done on the big screen. Small screen has been good, but
I love the Titans show.
yeah.
That's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Another company that's losing out, MGM has lost the rights to Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, which, so apparently there's now going to be a big bidding war over who gets the Tomb Raider film franchise, which is unfortunate because I liked the Tomb Raider film that we had with, what's her name? Alicia,
Vikander. I'll say it.
There you go.
Vikander.
Yeah, the names, yeah.
I don't know.
But I liked that one.
I did too.
I'll be honest, I didn't see that one.
It's actually pretty good. It's a good interpretation of the character.
The Angelina Jolie one that came out when I was still in college, and all I can remember from it is the one scene where all it is just her boobs bouncing up and down as she's running towards the screen.
That was both of them. I was say that was both of them if I remember properly.
Yeah, and then wasn't there the one with Angelina Jolie where she has one of those giant trampoline rope things around her waist?
That was the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one too.
Was trying to kill people.
Yep.
Not trying. She successfully killed all those guys.
She did. They're all dead.
Well, on one of those trampoline rope thingies.
Yeah. She killed them all.
Yeah, she killed all of them. Yeah, and then they had it was a Fate of Time.
I think she did 3.
Something like that. Did she do 3?
The first one, the Cradle of something.
Was that the one I'm thinking of? Cradle of Time?
I think so. I can't remember. Do I really want to look this up?
I'm doing it right now.
So, we're going to be missing out on that cast, the cast from Alicia Vikander's Tomb Raider, which, again, I actually liked that one a lot.
There are 3.
See, I knew she did.
The newest one does the one with the new actress, though.
Correct. So there's Tomb Raider.
The first 2 were the Angelina Jolie ones, and it is
Cradle of Life.
Cradle of
Life. And then
Life.
the third one in 2000, is the new chick, lady.
Yeah. Which was actually good.
Apparently, only gets 1 film, and the reason for that is because apparently, according to their contract, they had X amount of years or time to greenlight or start production on a sequel. And they didn't. I feel like you can say COVID and get an extension. I mean, it works for the taxes.
Now, did she step away? Because that's the part that I wouldn't see was clear. Did she step away because they kind of canceled it? Or is it just because they canceled it, they're just going to find a different cast for the new one?
I believe.
Currently in the air.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But did she step away or was she cut?
I don't know.
That's a part that I'm not sure on, because since that happened, everyone's been saying that they're going to put Aubrey Plaza as the new Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Which
I honestly don't know if she stepped away or not. It just says that she'll no longer be Lara Croft.
Yeah. Which I got nothing against Aubrey Plaza, but I don't necessarily see her as being a Lara Croft, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we'll have yet another interpretation of Lara Croft. And so that just gives us another way to cosplay that look.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, because I've done a couple of different versions of Lara Croft for Comic-Con and other cons. But because it's really easy to do well. And it's comfortable because you get to wear flats or boots. And most of the characters that I cosplay are the characters wear heels. And I just can't do all of that walking, in the appropriate footwear for the character.
Yeah.
So, all right, what else do we have going on?
We could jump back to Warner Brothers for the things that they did keep in production.
Okay, go for it.
We got the Shazam Fury of the Gods trailer, which looks hilarious.
The first one was pretty funny. It was really dumb, but it was really funny.
I liked it.
I liked that movie. That was one of my favorite DC movies in the recent history.
And I like that, the kid's a little dick.
Oh yeah.
And then later when all of them get to be a Shazam character, superhero, and the really little girl sees Santa, she's like, I was really good this year. I love that. It's so adorable.
Well, and the thing, it looks like it's going to be good. Honestly, I'm excited to see that movie. But the funny thing that came out of it was basically everything in there that involves other parts of the DC universe is the Justice League stuff with Ben Affleck, Ezra Miller, and Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently, based on that, is Ben Affleck still Batman in this universe?
So Ben Affleck gets to play two different people because he wasn't very good the first time he played Batman, right?
Are we talking about the Batman versus Superman story?
Yeah, that
all of him and all of the stories that he was in.
Yes, that horrible mess. Any of it. I don't know.
The Zack Snyder one wasn't bad.
The Justice League?
Yeah, it was long as shit, but it wasn't bad.
Right.
Yeah, well, if you watch the extended edition,
that
one was good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not talking about the other asshole who screwed up the thing. Apparently,
the nice part about the Zack Snyder cut is it's broken up into pieces, so you can watch it, in 3 bite-sized movies.
Well, and it's a lot more cohesive than.
Yeah. So I watched it all in one sitting.
Yeah, I did too. That was a horrible mistake.
But the funny thing is, I had a roommate at the time right after that came out, and she was like, "Oh, I'll go watch a movie with you." She had never seen any comic book movies ever in her whole life.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And she did not know that movie was 5 hours long.
and the darkest movie until, this last Batman movie.
Yeah.
Even then, they deal with the end of the world on that one.
Oh. Yeah, poor kid.
Oh, quick note about Batman. The last time we talked, and just got revealed a couple days ago, we found out who will be the Harley Quinn-like character in the new Joker movie.
Yes, we did.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice.
Video on Twitter.
Yeah, they confirmed it, but I don't know if they were supposed to, but they did apparently.
Well, she released the video, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
If not, if not, which she's a good actress. She's kind of proven her chops thus far, I would say. So
She has definitely moved past the meat dress and being carried around in a bubble.
yeah,
I do
I'd say
like,
so.
and I'm not saying Lady Gaga's old because she's not. She's like our age. But she, compared to the other Harley Quinns, which are the young 20s, and this is a nice setup because Joaquin Phoenix is not exactly a young pup either.
No,
so it's kind
Joaquin
of a
Phoenix is
match.
older than us, isn't he?
They're going with somebody a little bit more seasoned.
Well, and he's in his early 40s.
Yeah, he just looks old.
I think. When was Stand By Me? When was that?
Oh Christ, I don't know.
30 years ago?
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't that like
And he was a
early 90s,
teenager.
late 80s?
I was gonna guess 1992.
Something like that. It was around there. And he was in his early teens when that was made, something like that. So yeah, he'd be in his 40s.
All right. So let's see. What else do we have going on?
Oh, Black Adam is the
we're
other
gonna
thing.
continue with what else is not being canceled.
Yeah, Black Adam. And we got a full Dwayne Johnson flying around the theater apparently thing happening at Comic-Con.
This does not surprise me at all.
How more awesome can you make The Rock? You make him fly around the arena.
Yeah, you put him in a black super tight leotard that lights up.
Yeah.
And fly him around a theater.
I bet he looked really sexy in a unitard.
I suggested this as an entrance to the wedding, and I was struck down.
We're going to do the full leotard and everything?
Aren't you supposed to be making him a suit out of firecrackers or explosives?
We were supposed to have the explosive suits.
I was told I wasn't allowed to do that.
That's right. You were told you're not allowed to do that.
Apparently, rappelling from the ceiling is frowned upon. Appearing from the floor is also frowned upon.
What if we make him like a trampoline style system so he pops up out of the floor?
See, here's the thing. You'd have to cut a hole in the floor of the venue.
There is a hole.
I'm okay with that.
On the other side of the venue.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. We'll bring in like Rey Mysterio.
And he can propel me up.
Yeah.
Did you like on a litter by your groomsmen?
We'll get him one of those things that they use for the horse thing in the gymnastics, that little trampoline springboard thing.
Yeah. Oh, I have an idea. We can have the bridal bouncers pull you in on a chariot.
There we go. But then the entrance song has to change to Hosanna from
Jesus Christ
Superstar.
Yeah.
Well, we could just do the Pumpkin King entrance.
That's a good one too.
And bring you in on a giant jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. These are all great ideas.
So, Tank, you dress up as the jack-o'-lantern and then you carry him in.
I'm already Boogie, I think.
Yeah.
You are.
That was the plan. And then your children were going to be Lock and Shock. We just need a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm suggesting that we have Peanut be Barrel.
I'm good with that.
Because Barrel's the doof of that group anyway.
But yes, we got in a new Black Adam. And I mean, what they've released of the footage looks cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about Black Adam and Shazam.
Yeah, they got 2 things coming up that look good. They had 3, but they had to go ahead and kill Batgirl, so I'm not sure anymore at that point. But I think that was the most.
Give it wings again, since it's basically already done.
Yeah.
I anticipate maybe in like a couple of years or even next year, them, pulling it out of the vault and releasing it.
We'll get the Snyder cut.
Just because it's getting so much publicity for being cut.
It doesn't make sense that they cut it. I mean, when you're done with it, just release the fucking movie.
That's why it's getting so much press, is because it doesn't really make sense.
Because it's $90 million that they've just thrown into the toilet.
Yeah. When they say
And
that for 90 million, that's not the cost of the movie. No, that's the cost they've already spent on the movie.
Well, I mean, and at this point, though, the rest of the cost would be whatever the finishing touches are for editing, and then double the budget for marketing.
Right.
But if you're not going to do the marketing, then it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Does not make sense.
You're not going to spend that much on the end. If they said it's like 95% done, how much more cost could there be at that point for the actual production?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I thought for Batgirl, all of the editing and stuff was done.
I think they were, yeah, it was just more of like finishing the polishing, essentially, is what I heard. Making sure that everything fits together and all the music everything is properly, lined up.
Synchronicity.
Yeah. And then I guess the last confirmation we got, but not from DC or not from Warner Brothers, but from the director and executive producer, James Gunn, said that there will be Peacemaker, so that was not canceled. So I guess that's
good because
that show was fucking awesome.
I love that show.
I have such a newfound respect for John Cena after that masterpiece.
The Peacemaker opening sequence and dance was also discussed as a way for Mark to enter for the wedding.
Yes, it was. Want to go little big style.
Honey, if that's what's going to make you happy, you can marry someone else.
That's just rude.
Well, and I'm feisty.
And the exact opposite side of things, Disney announced everything, including things that we didn't know were in production for the next 3 years.
And Marvel are just, they're like, we want you to know to not leave us.
Yeah, we got basically everything that we knew was coming, plus a couple of things that we didn't know about, and some things that they've changed up a little bit, but we kind of knew were coming. So
yeah, so we got the plan for Phase 5 in the Marvel Universe.
Rough outline.
Well, we've got the outline for 5 and 6 and what's going to finish 4, essentially.
Yeah. We got more information about Fantastic Four.
That it actually exists. Yeah.
That it's a thing.
It's going to happen. It won't be an origin story, which
Thank
is
God.
nice because we've all heard that story in 100 different ways. And we have the cast confirmed. For John Krasinski will continue on as Reed Richards.
Was that 100% confirmed? I thought that was hinted at, but not totally confirmed.
Earlier today, a trailer or a video of Krasinski, and hold on, let me pull back up where that was.
Yeah, where was that? We just saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It has like Zac Efron.
And Emily Blunt. Yeah, I saw that stuff. And it looks like, oh yeah, I guess that is I guess that would be official, right? I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it looks official.
Which is awesome.
And Zac Efron, as I'm going to just assume the Human Torch.
I'm assuming so, and it looked like it's going to be Vin Diesel as Thing.
So that
I
means,
am totally comfortable with that decision.
Means, and they're going to let him do the voice for it too. So that means they're giving Vin Diesel 2 characters in the MCU.
Well, one of them's about to be done, so that makes sense.
You think Groot's going away forever?
Well, I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is supposed to be the last
appearance.
Movie. And then they have whatever the holiday special thing is. But assuming that that's the end of those, then he would no longer be that character, at least.
That's true.
But Zac Efron as the Human Torch, cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Zac Efron may have started off as like a Disney teeny bopper, but I feel like he has also shown that he can do a lot of good.
Okay, so I am reading up on this. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go.
This is a fan casting and a fan trailer. This is not official from Marvel.
Oh, well, then they suck.
Yeah, this is a fan casting, and this is a fan-made trailer of what these actors as the characters would potentially look like.
Well, I think that it would be a good thing.
I agree, based on the trailer. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, that is apparently 100% a fan trailer.
All right.
Yeah, Strider HD is the name of the company apparently that made it.
Well, that's probably why it looks so official. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on in Marvel and Disney.
She-Hulk got pushed a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, She-Hulk got pushed a week, so it'll be next Thursday. Will be the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which...
Oh, hello, dog.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, pup. Hey, puppers. What are you doing? You being crazy?
A third co-host here. Yeah, always crazy. Are you kidding me?
She's still a puppy.
She's slightly feral today. Holy crap.
So yesterday she managed to pull a cast iron skillet off the counter. Didn't damage her or which I am grateful for.
At least she didn't brain herself.
She ate all the hamburger grease out of it.
Well, yeah.
Because we had
she put in the effort to get it down and not knock herself unconscious. She earned it.
Yeah, I don't know how she did that. My dog she might be the smartest dog I've ever seen, but she helped herself to about 3 or 4 solid ounces of hamburger grease at the bottom of that.
So she's pooping good today, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she's pooped twice already today. So
yeah. I mean, you got to.
I don't know how she got that thing off the counter without hurting herself or damaging the floor. It's mad.
Yeah, got to grease the pipes.
You have another person can't tell.
And along with the She-Hulk additional trailer that we got coming out, we got the second appearance of Charlie Cox as Daredevil. So he will be in She-Hulk Attorney at Law at some point, which makes perfect sense considering he's a lawyer. And they needed another way to bring him in.
Yeah, works. Okay.
We had a little bit of a
hiccup.
Yeah. Server issue.
I gotcha.
So sticking in the Marvel, we've got some more information on Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. And, basically what we're already expecting is it's going to be a crossover type of film, similar to the way Doctor Strange was. And, like we've talked about before, and what we were all saying before we started recording tonight, is Marvel doesn't really have a lot of standalone stories on the horizon. It's all going to be crossover of some sort, even if it's just like Easter eggs or cameos.
Which is kind of their tradition, but it looks like it's going to be even more so at this point, where you're going to have people showing up to lead into another story or to close loops on certain stories and stuff like that. It looks like they're going to be mixing it a lot more. of the universe.
Like, the last standalone I think we're going to see is Thor, and we still had a lot of crossover in that because you had the Guardians at the beginning of it. And you're not going to see a lot of origin stories because Gore had what? A very fast origin story. It was what?
It was well done, though.
Yeah, it was super well done. They told the story effectively and efficiently because it was like an 8-minute origin story.
It felt like it was very detailed. You
Yeah.
understood why Gore was what he was.
And he may have said 10 words the whole time.
That's what they needed, though. That was I think they did a good job. That movie was good for what it was, if disjointed in its storytelling.
I don't know if the problem with it was there was so much story to tell.
That's why I think it ended up being disjointed, because they would hop from story to story to story, and you're kind of like, well, there's things here. This could have been a couple movies. It felt like, or they could have filled in some stuff.
Unfortunately, I think that's what we're going to get now is a lot of that, because you saw what happened with the release of the Eternals, where they took the whole movie to develop the plot, and that movie had no story, and so everyone hated it. And now
it had a story. It had a story. It was just a stupid story. That was the problem.
I don't remember much of a story.
They're alien robots.
I get the premise. The premise is not a story, though.
Well, the premise of the actual Eternals is that they're actually gods.
Right.
Essentially.
Yeah.
These are robots.
This one, they tried to make it out like that and then just turn them into, cheap Justice League.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
bad.
My least favorite of all of the Marvel movies.
Oh, easily.
I'm pretty sure that's a consensus across Marvel fans.
And also, I think was the longest of all of the Marvel movies, minus
Which made
Endgame.
It worse.
Yeah. I think Endgame was the only one that was longer, technically, and that was
Endgame was 3 hours?
Almost, yeah. It was just shy of 3 hours.
And when I went and saw Endgame, I did not leave to go to the bathroom.
I fell asleep the first time I watched Eternals. Not even kidding.
When I went to go watch Endgame, I took my mom to go with me. That was her introduction to the MCU.
The end of it?
Yeah. That was the first one. I didn't know that she had not seen a single one until we walked out of the movie. She was like, wow, a lot of shit exploded. I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah, there was another 20 movies that led to that.
There was easily 15 or 16 movies worth of catching up you got to do there. I don't know why she agreed to go with me.
Because you wanted to go.
Because
she's a good mom.
With you.
Yeah. You got yourself a good mom who was willing to go through something she had no idea was happening just because you wanted to go.
I think it was her suggestion too.
Oh, that's funny. That makes it a bit better. And then
all right, let's see what else is going on.
We got Daredevil Born Again, which is, if the name has any meaning, is an actual storyline in Daredevil comics. Which is interesting, because if they take that storyline, that's some pretty in-depth Catholic guilt that happens in that.
I like it when we go to those stories. You got to use the source material, right?
Oh, they do to a certain extent, but that's a direct name thing from a storyline. And we also found out that there's going to be 18 episodes in that show.
Which is the longest show so far.
Double up plus on anything that's happened before it.
Yeah.
So they're really invested in this story, apparently.
But because they're doing so much on Disney Plus with Marvel and everything, they are going to start either including ads, or you have to pay a premium cost a month.
God, I'll spend the $4 a month.
That'll be
it's $3 difference.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's only a $3, and it won't be yet anyway. It's when it hits the 3-year mark is when the price goes up, or something like that. When they hit the 3-year mark for Disney Plus.
I believe it's next year.
Yeah, I think it's next summer is when that happens.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's next summer.
You know, but I get it. You know, Disney Plus is, you know, has basically proven its worth.
Well, and I've been ripping them off because I paid
service.
Yeah, I think everyone does that same thing, and we thing over here where somebody's got this and somebody's got that and somebody's got that, and it all comes out in the wash. So,
oh no, I did the 3-year prepay.
Yeah.
So I got 3 years, and I got 3 years of it for like $60, something like that.
And wasn't it like you could do like $100 and it was like ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus?
Yeah, and you could get all 3 of them for 3 years for like $100.
Yeah, wow. That's what Dad did.
Yeah, I pay the whatever $340 a month or whatever it is. I don't pay it. I paid it 2 years ago, but it ends up costing me $350 a month on average or something like that. Now, that was one of the smarter investments I've had for that kind of that. If I could prepay and make that happen, I'm more than willing to do it.
Yeah,
considering how much my kids watch Disney.
Remember the night of the pandemic when we're all still in quarantine, there were a bunch of Karens on the internet talking about how us should be free to anybody with kids, because if you're stuck home with them, you know, they should get a free streaming service.
Yeah, fuck, talking to them, engaging with them, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you paid for a babysitter, right?
You would pay a lot more for a babysitter.
I pay a lot more for a babysitter than someone I'm related to. And I still pay her. Yeah. I pay her minimum wage, basically. So, and on top of the announcement for the Daredevil Born Again thing, we also got kind of a confirmation on John Barenthal coming back as Punisher. What's her name? I can't remember her name. The one that plays Jessica Jones.
Coming back as Jessica Jones.
Yeah. She's gonna be back as Jessica Jones.
She's coming back. Basically, the Defenders.
Yeah. Everyone except for poor Finn. Yeah, poor Finn. He appears to not be coming back as Iron Fist. Which, I mean, makes sense. That was
it just wasn't good.
Was the worst one by far.
Like, even in Defenders, in the season that we had, that was all of them. It was just, it's bleh. So,
and for someone who played such a large part in the story to have that just Disney, not be good.
See, what else was announced? Secret Wars.
Yes. Secret Wars.
We're supposed to be getting that in 2024.
Excuse me, 2025. An Avengers crossover. Yeah.
Which
that'll be
it's
Avengers.
It's crazy to me that 2025 is just around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, we got King Dynasty and Secret Wars. I believe isn't King Dynasty, I thought, was the first one coming out of that.
Yeah, King Dynasty comes out at Christmas 2024, and then they have another one in there And then Secret Wars is around Christmas time, 2025.
Yeah, like they bookend the year or something like that, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
The two Avengers movies, which is what they did with Endgame and Infinity Saga stories. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We also got more footage for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Including somebody as Black Panther who we don't know who that is yet.
We shall see.
There,
I don't think it's going to be Shuri.
there are a lot of people on the internet speculating that it's Killmonger.
Yeah, there's like 4 big potential stories and the one I want it to be is not one of them, so that's unfortunate.
The Killmonger
yeah, it
one is
looks like
interesting.
what?
That Killmonger one is interesting.
Yeah, the Killmonger one, then there's Shuri, and then there's the Queen, and then Nakia are the top 4.
I would be okay with Nakia.
I don't know. Isn't that Angela Bassett beating the shit out of a bunch of dudes as Black Panther seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, but the Queen as Black Panther doesn't make sense.
Why? In their tradition, there is a king and queen.
Right.
And it never specifies that they can't both be Black Panther. Because in the way that they describe it is that unless they have a child that can take over or someone that can take over, the queen can be the Black Panther also.
Well, I still want it to be Nakia.
I have an idea that I think it's going to be Nakia. I really wanted it to be Winston Duke, but they're kind of giving him his own thing, it looks like. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see like where under like a rock or something the one miraculously surviving heart-shaped herb lives.
Yeah, that's good. They're gonna have to explain that how they have one, and I think they're gonna explain it with Shuri that she's gonna create it synthetically,
probably genetically engineered or whatever through the
But wouldn't she
sweat
have
glands of dead fetuses.
Yes, but
I'm
which you
pretty
no
sure
longer
that's
get
not
here.
it.
You have to smuggle them in from Asia.
Okay. Moving on from your idea of how the synthetic thing is made, to make a synthetic copy or replica of something, don't you have to have the original thing?
I would assume with how smart Shuri is that she already mapped the heart-shaped herb.
You know, or maybe she just like takes the blood of, you know, her brother before he disappears.
Before the
like,
funeral, yeah.
Yeah, and pulls it out of him.
Maybe.
So, I don't know. I'm interested to see how they explain that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and then we got Ironheart's appearance with it, including her making a heart out of iron to make her armor, it seems. Which is kind of cool that that's actually going to be Ironheart.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
is there? Oh, yeah, they also did the Agatha.
Oh yeah, the Agatha
Coven
TV
of,
series.
Yeah, it was going to be House of Harkness, but now it's apparently Coven of Chaos.
Yeah, you know that little jingle of Agatha all along.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I actually have that in my playlist because it's catchy. You know, it's like, you know, less than a minute, but I enjoy it. And I'm interested to see the Agatha story.
Yeah, and we didn't really get any additional information on it from what I could tell. It's just
Confirmed.
official announcement, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is cool. You know, we all enjoyed Agatha, I believe, in that series, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also announced for Disney Plus is they are doing the Percy Jackson and the Olympians as a series instead of as a film. And Rick Riordan,
Riordan, I think.
Riordan.
Lanolin.
Anyways, Rick, who wrote the books, is also the executive producer for the show, which does I give me hope.
Because
I see how he does it, and I feel like doing it as a mini series is definitely the right way to go. Pretty much with any book series.
Yeah.
Lemony Snicket's really got me super convinced of that.
It's just easier to tell the story. Like, I honestly think that they should go back and remake the first Harry Potter movie as like a 6 or 7 or 8 part miniseries. Because, like, anything that you try to cram, that much source material that you try to cram into, 2.5 hours or less, it's going to feel rushed. It's going to feel awful, and that's why the Lord of the Rings movies are, 5 hours long. I know how much you guys love those movies, but that's the idea, is taking these narratives and stretching them out, so that they can actually fit all the content. And then you're also getting better character stories, and you're also getting more play out of it, as opposed to getting people to show up to these movies, once a month or whatever. You get people to show up to the TV every week.
Or you could do what they do with Dune and make it interesting.
Yeah, I think Dune is doing a good job.
That's another approach.
But again, I'm going to say that my favorite, page to screen adaptation, where I feel like it was super on point with the books and everything, was the Netflix miniseries of Lemony Snicket's with Neil Patrick Harris. Like, it follows the books ridiculously well.
Yeah.
And I also thought the casting in that was spot on.
True.
But so Percy Jackson is happening. Yep. We'll get it in early 2024.
Which seemingly means that they're either going into production now or very soon.
Yeah.
If they're going to be filming a TV series and releasing it a little over a year from now.
Right.
So, I really enjoyed the Percy Jackson books.
So did
I. And I did not super enjoy the film.
Lightning Thief.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
I saw the first one.
The first one wasn't as bad as the second one.
I didn't see the second one. If they made a second one, I didn't watch it.
Well, anyway.
We also got more Marvel Studios with 4 animated shows. 5 animated shows. Yeah, 5 animated shows. 6 animated shows. Jesus. Yeah, 5. It's 5. Which
the way you do that, 5, 6, it sounded like The Count.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which one it was.
5 animated shows.
Have you ever seen the old YouTube video where it's Count singing the I Love to Count song, but every time he says the word count, they bleep it out like he's saying the F word?
Yes, I have.
I'll have to show that to you when we're done.
You
here.
have shown it to me. It's hilarious.
They actually put an F in front of one of the bleeps so it sounds like he's saying it. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack.
We got What If Season 2 is officially announced.
Yep.
The spin-off of What If Marvel Zombies is going to be its own standalone thing now.
Because why not?
Yep. Spider-Man Freshman Year, which will have only one returning cast member to do the voice, being Daredevil. Charlie Cox as Daredevil. Looks like he's going to be the only person who's going to be voicing their character from the movies. X-Men 97, which is going to be following the X-Men animated series from the 90s. And I Am Groot, which we all knew about, but is now, I believe, was released today on Disney Plus. So all your animated wants and needs are being fulfilled by Marvel, apparently.
I guess the question that I have for the animated goes back to the way in Doctor Strange we had Captain Carter, and if we're going to have any more crossover from the animated series into the big screen, because I know that it's already been made very clear that we're having small screen to big screen crossovers, and watching the things on the small screen will impact your understanding of the films.
Yeah.
And if they take the approach from what they took for season 1, it is considered canon, even if it's multiverse canon. It is considered part of the universe. So I just as easily, I would assume that they're going to have stuff coming out of season 2 that we're going to see crossover, I would assume.
Yeah. So we'll see. And that's the question I have for all of the animated.
I Am Groot is considered canon also. They've already said that. So what's happening with I Am Groot is in between stories between the Guardians movies involving Groot.
Okay.
And then X-Men 97, I'm guessing, yes, because it appears that Magneto is the leader of the X-Men now.
Oh, interesting.
Which implies that Professor Xavier is not there anymore. And if what we got from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is accurate, that's because he just had his neck snapped by Scarlet Witch.
From inside his brain.
Mm-hmm.
So it would also explain why he was in the yellow chair.
Mm-hmm. And Spider-Man freshman year, I don't know if they can say that that's canon. But it does seem to be taking place immediately following No Way Home. So, because it's him as a freshman in college, it appears. Because both Doctor Strange and Daredevil are supposed to appear in it.
We shall see.
So, seemingly based on all of that they're just building the lore in the animated thing also.
More stuff to watch.
Speaking of stuff to watch, Netflix released the Sandman series.
Watch that.
Which Gul Dagoon and I have not had a chance to watch because our Netflix doesn't work on our TV. It plays in 15 to 30-second bursts at a time.
Yeah, sometimes, if not less.
Do you guys have like a Fire Stick you can use, or is it?
It's off of Roku, actually.
It's coming off of a Roku? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yep. We've uninstalled, reinstalled, logged out, logged back in, done the hokey pokey.
Short of wiping the Roku and starting completely over, I've tried just about everything.
Have you tried another device?
Yeah, I mean, it works in the bedroom, but it's in the bedroom.
And that's on a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Have you tried the Fire Stick in the main room to see if it works?
That's an idea.
We have not tried that.
I've not tried that.
Give that a shot. See if it works.
But Tank has watched Sandman on Netflix.
I have watched the first 4 episodes, I think is what I have actually finished. And holy crap. It is cool. It is dark. It is menacing and weirdly hopeful at times so far.
The 20 seconds I've seen of it look very good.
And anyone who doesn't know, Sandman is essentially telling the story of Morpheus, who is the king of dreams, essentially.
Yeah.
And how he was trapped, and
What was it for you?
how he lost all of his equipment that allowed him to be the king of dreams and all that stuff, and he is in search of it.
It sounds interesting. Sounds really interesting.
It's a pretty cool so far. I've enjoyed everything they've done. I just finished the showdown with Lucifer, which was really cool.
And this is all based off the Neil Gaiman book.
Yep. It is based off the Neil Gaiman Sandman series.
So
I've been catching up on, speaking of catching up on things, I've been catching up on the Westworld. Have you watched Westworld or anything?
I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched since then, but that's more of just a time issue.
Yeah. This season they've completely changed everything.
All right.
There's a big reveal right in the middle of the season that's just kind of like, huh, okay.
well, you'll have to talk to Dad about it. That's one of his shows.
Oh man, I just sent Matt like a 45-word text message and thing was half the words. So they took the thing and then they made the thing and then they turned the thing.
I will have to catch up on that also. So understanding what the thing is.
Yeah.
All right. We got from Comic-Con, we got the Dungeons and Dragons trailer. What is that? Honor Among Thieves.
Was that what it was called? Yeah, that sounds right.
I think. Yeah. So, and that'll come out next year, March. It looks good. It actually looks like you have your prime characters who are what you would play in a D&D game. Well, and they apparently steal the wrong thing from the wrong people, and then hilarity and insanity happen. So, Chris is in this one.
Yeah, it's Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez are the two main, right?
Yep.
Yep. It looks interesting.
I've never really been an RPG person. Sorry. Ray-Jean Page, who I fell in love with in Bridgerton. I really hope he's naked in part of this movie.
I would not bet on that, but maybe.
Oh, he's so pretty. Okay. So yeah, that's happening.
Okay, you can close that window now, baby.
Oh, here's something that'll make you have a happy.
Yes.
There are going to be 2 more Star Trek TV series.
In addition to the 4 that are currently active.
Correct.
Yes.
And it was hinted at that we will be seeing more female leads. Nothing has been confirmed. But as far as who the leads are, who the captains will be, so on and so forth. But they were going to have 2 more Star Trek TV series.
Yeah, there's some speculation on another Section 31 show, which has been in and out of production since the late 90s.
Well, we heard about another... God, I remember we talked about that. How was that, 5 months ago?
Yeah.
That they were talking about it again, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Jerry Ryan's talking about, wouldn't it be awesome if there was a Seven and Raffi spinoff from Picard? because Picard's supposed to be ending this next season.
No!
Yep.
No! Devil Woman may be coming back. Did you read that correctly?
Yep, honey, I did.
The war criminal herself might be returning to live action. Catherine Janeway. Sorry. Star Trek is okay until you get to Voyager.
Which is why, as far as I'm concerned, Voyager is not canon. Other than 7. It's the only good thing to come out of that.
She's by far the worst captain.
That's because she's all like, "Oh, hey, you're a weird, like, hybrid species. I'm going to leave you on this deserted planet so you die."
The hybrid species was created because her and I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
Her first officer.
No, it wasn't the first
Tom
officer.
Paris.
Tom Paris, thank you. The pilot. They turned into lizards and mated and made a baby, and then they just dropped it off and abandoned it on a deserted planet.
Or what about
Tuvix?
Tuvix, and she just kills Tuvix.
She just murders a human being. Or not a human, but a Tuvix.
A thing. And then she's all like, "Hey, Neelix, you can totally have sex with this 1-year-old.
Hey, Borg Queen, here is a nuclear weapon for you."
And really, the only thing that Janeway is sad about not getting back to Earth is because of her fucking dog.
Remember when she created the holodeck for that species, and it ended up creating a genocide and killing all of them? The hunting species. So she gave them holodeck technology, and they turned on them and killed everybody.
That makes sense.
She's a war criminal. Okay, sorry. That was my
soapbox
anti-Janeway mini rant.
For him, that was a mini rant. All right. What else do we have, Tank? That's all I had open on my end.
Ironheart, the TV series,
which we talked about very briefly.
Yeah, and a lot of their cast is interesting. Seems to be inspired by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So we're getting the guy that played Philip Hamilton in the Hamilton musical. He's going to be on there. Anthony Ramos, who played Usnavi in The Heights, is on that show. Apparently, several people connected.
Manuel will be writing like the opening song or something.
It kind of seems like it. Maybe he's a musical producer for the show. Maybe if he's had, or they just, because of those guys being in Disney properties, they're all going to be involved already, I guess. But yeah, the Riri Williams Ironheart story just started filming, so that'll be out next year sometime.
So
seemingly
we know
October.
a bunch of stuff is coming. We also know that Marvel and Disney do like to rearrange their schedule of release dates and stuff. So we'll see when we actually get all of these items. I know that on Disney Plus, we're expecting Hocus Pocus 2.
That should be out in October.
I can't remember if it's the end of September or early October that we're going to get that.
Yeah.
Willow is coming out soon.
I keep forgetting about Willow.
I'm super excited about that. So a lot of stuff coming out, before the end of the year. And we're already halfway through the year, so.
More than halfway through the year.
I guess the last thing would be the second trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Would be the last thing that happened in the last couple weeks. And we got
I don't follow any of that.
Well, no,
they just
but
released some new characters. Showed you a little bit of the realm. They released So in every Pokemon game, there's always a mode of transportation. It's usually a bicycle that helps you
Or
go faster. Because of the old games, you couldn't run; it was just walk or bicycle. Now you can run, and then there's the bicycle. So they've turned the bicycle for this game because it's an open terrain game into not just a bicycle, but it's also going to be a hang glider and a boat.
boat of some rapport.
So, and that's a Pokemon, kind of like Rotom kind of takes on the form of whatever it's around. But, you know, Rotom also is the Pokédex where you actually house all your, you know, information for your Pokemon. That's a Rotom too. So that's an interesting play.
Yeah, and apparently it's the legendary Corralodon and Miraidon.
Oh, that's the bikes?
Yeah, apparently that is who those are.
Oh,
depending on
that's
which
even cooler.
Yeah, which one you go with, you get one of the what we're assuming are the box legendaries are also going to be your transportation.
And then
Which is
there's a new battle mode thing. So you know the Gigantamax no longer seems to be like it's around. It's now going to be whatever this crystal form is going to be.
Is it crystalline or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, where they crystallize and they can actually have new
a new move set.
Well, what's the word? Element, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can take on a new element, which is interesting. That's kind of a cool way to do it. But that kind of really taps into I don't know if anyone remembers this from several years ago at this point. In the cards, there was the alpha species.
Right. And they did the alpha species in this most recent game, too, with Arceus. They brought back the alpha series, alpha species.
The origins and stuff like that. Yep. So that makes sense that it's going to loop into that a little bit.
Yeah, it just changes its typing up and, you know, makes you strategize a little bit more.
So, speaking of Pokemon, it was just Mark's birthday, so I got him a bunch of Pokemon crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then he decided to have me try to name them.
Oh no.
And he was laughing so hard, I thought he was going to pee himself.
We may have to do like a segment next time where we just do that because it's hilarious.
We were supposed to do a segment of, you know, who's your best X-Men team.
That's awesome. I want that.
Isn't that dope?
And he has the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, he's wearing the gauntlet.
That's cool.
Well, tell you what, I will send the link for that to your wife.
Well, my birthday just happened. I already got my birthday stuff.
I also got a Doctor Who shirt on it that says knock knock.
And then his last birthday gift actually just came in the mail yesterday, and it is the owner's manual for a Klingon bird of prey.
That's pretty cool.
And it's written in English and in Klingon.
Yeah, there's Klingon and English on there.
And there's a glossary with you know definitions and all that. So
you're gonna make one then?
Maybe. I'd like a Retaran.
He was trying to quiz me on the Retaran, and I was like, I know that answer. Oh yeah, I got all of them right.
She did. That's, you know,
why we're getting married.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine is our Star Trek.
It is.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so I think that is everything for now.
Squishmallows and Pokemon are coming out with stuff. It's adorable.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing the full line of Squishmallows. I'm guessing we're going to need several of those.
Speaking of the Squishmallows, I got Jack, Sally, Zero, and the Mayor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the full-size ones or the small ones?
And the smaller ones.
They're the smaller ones.
But that means that I can put all four of them on a shelf next to each other.
Sweet.
Squishmallows take up a lot of room.
Yeah, they do. My kids' room on a daily basis looks like it exploded just because of those.
Ours have their own furniture.
Yeah, ours does not because we have kids and they have their own furniture. So
We can afford Squishmallows because we don't have children.
yeah.
Okay. And on that note, we will not be back next week. We will be back the week after because we are going to attempt to go with this every other week thing, unless we have something hugely fabulous that we have to talk about right away. We will be doing some sports talk coming up as football season is getting ready to start.
Is that going to be a separate thing?
It will be, but
Okay.
it'll still be the same people.
Mm-hmm.
We usually do those Tuesday nights a little bit earlier than this, but yeah.
And we had our first game, which was hilariously bad.
Oh no.
The Raiders and Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so bad I didn't even know what happened.
I don't know if the Raiders look good or if the Jaguars are still that trash. I'm not sure which one it is.
Oh, the Jaguars are a dumpster fire. They're going to be a dumpster.
But
and that's another show.
The Raiders.
All right. So, anyways, watch out for us to talk about sports. Watch out for us to talk about more nerd stuff. We do have passes for Non-Dasu Con in September and Colorado Springs Comic Con this month. So we will be covering those cons and telling you all about them.
Yep,
and there are other things happening, but I don't remember what they are. So we're going to call it a night. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.